After almost getting killed by her rich in-laws, Grace sits on the steps of the Ladomas mansion as it burns down. Soon the police and the paramedics arrive and try to ask her some questions, but she has a panic attack and passes out. The paramedics immediately take her away. During the ambulance ride, Grace stops responding. As the paramedics start doing CPR, Grace goes through the memories of what happened. On the night after her wedding, the Ladomas family made her play a game of hide and seek in which they hunted her down. Their goal was to use her in an ancient ritual, but since she managed to survive until dawn, she won and the whole family exploded. After lots of effort from the paramedics, Grace finally wakes up. Later Grace finds herself handcuffed to a hospital bed. Detective Bassett informs her that she's being detained under suspicion of murder and arson. 2 bodies were found in the house and the blood on her wedding dress isn't hers. At that moment, Grace's sister Faith arrives. They haven't talked to each other in 7 years, but Faith is still Grace's emergency contact. Bassett decides to give the sisters a few minutes, but afterward he'll have to take Grace to the station. As soon as he's gone, the sisters end up arguing about their relationship, and Grace is particularly hurt when she learns that Faith lived near her in New York but never contacted her. Faith points out that Grace made it pretty clear she had no interest in being her big sister. She also wants to know what happened, but Grace thinks she wouldn't believe her. When Faith is about to leave, Grace decides to tell her everything that happened, including the fact that her own husband stabbed her and that she saw a ghost at the end. Meanwhile, millionaire Chester is watching a report about an ongoing war. He makes a call to approve a ceasefire and in just seconds, the reporter announces that the fight is over. At that moment he's visited by the lawyer, who informs him that the whole Ladomas family is dead and the bride survived. Chester orders his butler to find his children while he texts other families that are part of the same Satanist cult to tell them that the seat of power is up for grabs. In China, Chen Xing immediately calls her lawyers. In Spain, Ignacio hugs his assistant in happiness. In New Jersey, Bill celebrates by taking illegal sugar. In England, Viraj finds his brother Madhu in a club and they also celebrate. Moments later, twins Ursula and Titus come to see their father Chester. They think the seat of power should go directly to them, but Chester reminds them that's against the rules. When Titus begs, Richard slaps him and tells him to be a man. He shows them the master ring and tells them that it mustn't leave their family, so he wants them to win the seat back. After Ursula promises they will, Chester offers them a pillow and tells them to do it. The twins grab the pillow together and press it against Chester's face to kill him. At the hospital, Bassett is taking a handcuffed Grace to the station. Suddenly Bill appears in the corridor and throws a knife into Bassett's neck, instantly killing him. Then Bill pulls a second knife and comes after Grace, who immediately runs away with Faith. They get stuck in a dead end so they go back and hide behind the reception desk. Bill keeps looking for them but when he checks behind the desk, the sisters are already gone. They're currently hiding in a room, so they wait until Bill goes down the corridor to come out. They sneak around and see Bill again, but he quickly leaves to keep searching so the sisters return to the corridor to reach Bassett's body. After Grace takes Bassett's gun the sisters try to leave, but Bill quickly blocks them. When Grace tries to shoot, Bill pushes her hand to disarm her and hits her to bring her down. Then he gets ready to stab her, but at that moment his body explodes. While Faith freaks out, Grace returns to Bassett's body to get the handcuff keys. After freeing her wrists, Grace opens the evidence bag and takes back her bloodstained wedding dress to put it on. The sisters head to the elevator to leave, but the lawyer appears and throws a gas grenade to knock them out. He explains Bill died because he tried to kill Grace before the game began, which is against the rules. Meanwhile, the twins arrive at the family resort and Ursula cancels a wedding under the excuse of a gas leak. The bride freaks out, so Titus insults her and kicks everyone out with less manners than his sister. An announcement on the speakers tells the rest of the resort guests to leave as well. The twins bump into their cousin Kip, who looks forward to the big meeting. Moments later the twins welcome the rest of the council, which hasn't met since 1963. Ignacio arrives with his son Felipe and Chen Xing brings her freeloading son Chung Fu. Lastly, Viraj and Madhu arrive with Madhu's wife Martina right before a helicopter brings the sisters and the lawyer. Minutes later Grace and Faith are muzzled and tied to chairs in the council room. The lawyer brings a huge book and explains he's the only attorney for the organization, which is led by a council of the heads of 6 families. Since Grace's in-laws exploded because she won the game and Bill's whole family exploded as punishment for cheating, there are 4 families left. The council has a seat of power represented by the master ring and it's up for grabs because a bride has won the game. Grace triggered a rare company clause that allows her to compete for the high seat too. After Grace is unmuzzled for questions, the lawyer wonders why Grace told her in-laws she had no family when Faith exists, but instead of answering, Grace says she doesn't want the chair. However, the lawyer tells her that she's forced to participate because the council controls the world. She'll have to play hide and seek again against the heads of the 4 families, and if someone kills her, they win the seat. Grace can win if she survives until dawn again. When Grace tries to refuse to participate again, they threaten to kill Faith, so she agrees to play. Faith is unmuzzled too and complains about being dragged into this since she hadn't seen her sister in 7 years. She's interrupted when Ignacio's daughter Francesca bursts into the room. She reveals she used to be engaged to Grace's husband and asks for the engagement ring, so Grace explains she threw it at him before he exploded. Francesca gets so angry that Ignacio has to drag her away. Titus grabs 2 needles and sedates both sisters. Then the lawyer reminds everyone of the rules. Only the head of each family can hunt and has to sign the book with their blood. The exception is Ursula and Titus. Since they're twins there's no seniority and they both get to play. The heads can only use weapons that existed during the period in which their ancestors joined the cult, and they aren't allowed to kill each other. If any of the heads die, the next relative in line may join the game. These other relatives can watch the game from the house. After the sisters are dropped off on the golf course, the game finally begins. Most of the family heads rush to get on gold carts, but Titus has removed the keys of every cart except his. Ignacio calls them cheaters, so Ursula hits him and the twins take off. At the 9th hole, the sisters wake up and discover they're handcuffed to each other. Grace realizes the cult is using Faith to slow her down. They argue over what to do but are interrupted by a drone sent by Chen Xing. Grace grabs a flagpole and waves it to keep the drone at bay, but Chen Xing tells her that she wants to talk. When she's about to explain a loophole, the drone is shot down by Ursula. The sisters start running and the twins chase them as Ursula keeps firing. Faith and Grace run as much as they can but eventually find a huge wall blocking the way. They walk in the opposite direction and Faith begins mocking Grace for not knowing that her husband was in a cult, saying her attention was only on the money. Grace calls Faith a hypocrite since her boyfriend is in finance, but Faith swears that he was a starving actor when she met him. At that moment they hear Ursula looking for them, so they hide behind a trunk. Suddenly Titus appears behind the sisters, who dodge his attack just in time. His weapon gets stuck in the trunk, so he brings the girls down by pulling their arms. Then he tries to choke Grace, but Faith pushes him off. Then the sisters run with their arms extended to hit Titus with the handcuffs. Ursula wants to shoot them again, but they've already run off. A frustrated Ursula slaps Titus for his mistake, saying they need to win to make their father's death mean something. When the sisters come out of the woods, Ignacio sees them and gets his sniper rifle ready. However, the ammo falls and Ignacio struggles to put it back. He accidentally fires the rifle in the process, which misses the girls but gives away his plan. The sisters begin to run again while Ignacio keeps shooting at them, forcing them to hide in a garden lounge. In the house, the relatives watch it all on the security cameras. Kip tries to text the twins to tell them where the sisters are, but the lawyer stops him. In the lounge, Faith sees a propane tank and opens it to fill the area with smoke, so Ignacio can't see them anymore. The sisters try to run away but bump into Viraj, who attacks them with a sword. They run out of the lounge right before Ignacio accidentally shoots the tank, causing a big explosion. Viraj is knocked out and Grace ends up with several metal pieces stuck in her arm. The sisters keep running while Ignacio worries that he may have lost for killing Viraj. He's relieved to see him wake up, but now he's lost sight of the girls. After running for a while, the sisters enter the building through a back door. They sit to rest and Faith starts pulling out all the metal pieces from Grace's arm. She keeps her sister distracted from the pain by making her talk, so Grace reveals she had to drop out of college and worked as a waitress until she met her husband. While Faith cleans the wounds with alcohol, Grace admits she wanted to invite her to the wedding but she couldn't find her. Faith says she wouldn't have come anyway. At that moment they hear a door, so they quickly hide. They see Viraj looking for them, so they carefully sneak out of the room through a different door, but he hears them anyway and chases them. The sisters run down a corridor until they find the maintenance room. As soon as they see a bandsaw, they turn it on to finally break the handcuffs. The noise gives away their location to Viraj, who immediately follows it to the next room. However, the sisters are already gone. When he comes out, the girls push a cart into him to trap him against the wall. Viraj manages to fight back and the sisters defend themselves with any item in their reach. Faith hits him with an ironing board to knock him out and the girls run away. When Viraj tries to follow them again, the sisters hit him with a hanging bag, causing him to drop the sword. He then hits Faith to bring her down and Grace tries to throw another bag at him, but he sends it back and knocks her down too. As Grace crawls away, Viraj tries to follow her but he's hit by Faith, making him fall on the tray of an industrial washing machine. Grace turns it on and the sisters work together to push him down the tray until he lands inside the machine. They quickly close it and Grace presses more buttons to activate the washing cycle. Boiling water covers Viraj, slowly burning him alive. When the washing ends, the machine opens and Viraj tries to climb out, only to drop dead. Grace searches his jacket to find his phone. Titus quickly disarms Faith and captures her while Ursula fights Grace for the gun. The car is being driven by Martina, who ignores everyone and drives ahead to burst through the gate to escape. Faith headbutts Titus to free herself and starts running, but she freezes because she's worried about her sister. Grace keeps telling her to run before Ursula beats her up, stabbing her in the shoulder with a huge nail. Before she can kill her, Faith pushes Ursula off and knocks her out. The sisters then get on the twins' golf cart and drive away. In the council room, Madhu says he wants to join the game. However, the lawyer points out that Martina is still alive and she's the head of the family, so she still controls all his assets. Then Francesca signs the book to take over her dead father. Soon the sisters enter the house and Grace painfully removes the nail from the wound. Faith searches the guests' abandoned bags and finds some pepper spray plus medicine. Grace yells at her for not leaving when she could and Faith mentions the abandonment again, so they argue more and Grace says she'd been right to leave back then. Faith is hurt by her words so she leaves, and Grace takes the medicine with wine before having a breakdown. When Grace decides to go after her sister, she's blocked by Francesca, who fires a rocket launcher. However, she's holding it wrong and the rocket explodes in the other room. Then she tries to attack directly, but Grace uses the pepper spray on her face. Francesca turns it around to spray her back and they both end up temporarily blind, so their punches only hit air. Grace manages to grab the cake topper, but she stabs a human-sized picture by mistake. After both women bump into each other and into random things several times, Grace finds some water and washes her eyes. Francesca tackles her and punches her a few times before moving to grab a microphone stand. Grace tackles her before she can attack again, then she grabs a keyboard and smashes it on Francesca's face. In the corridor, Faith decides she should go back, only to be knocked down by Titus. He steps on her hand and asks about Grace, so Faith claims she's gone. Titus doesn't believe her and headbutts her, not even flinching when Faith punches him back. He throws her around while saying that she's only been good at slowing her sister down. Faith manages to hit him in the groin and runs away. Titus follows her and throws her again, hitting and kicking her a few times. When Titus is about to kill her, Ursula tries to stop him since Faith isn't part of the game, and Titus responds by hitting her too. Ursula convinces him to stop by pointing out that they can use Faith to get to Grace. At the gate, Grace looks for her sister. Titus talks to her through the speakers and tells her they have Faith, so if she doesn't return in 10 minutes, they'll kill her. Faith tells her to leave without her before Titus hangs up. Grace then notices that in the guard's hut there's a gun, so she breaks in to steal it. When Grace returns to the house, Francesca is waiting for her, but Grace easily kills her with 2 shots. Hearing the noise, Felipe signs the book before running away. Grace searches the house and finds Madhu, who swears he isn't playing anymore and runs away too. Then Grace shoots the council door and bursts in, demanding to know where Faith is. While Kip swears he doesn't know, Felipe comes back with 2 guns and opens fire. Grace immediately runs away and hides in the kitchen, only to realize she's out of ammo. She decides to lock herself up in the fridge until Titus smashes Faith's face on the window and threatens to kill her. A desperate Grace asks Titus to marry her to end the game, and the lawyer confirms that the loophole is correct, so Titus takes the deal. Grace comes out and hugs Faith as they apologize to each other. Afterward, the servants wash the sisters and give them clean clothes. Ursula talks to Grace, saying she never wanted to hurt her but she had to follow the rules. She also admits she's scared because her brother has lost it, so she wants to team up with Grace to keep him in check. At that moment they realize that Titus heard everything. He grabs Ursula by the neck and starts choking her, pointing out that there are no rules against killing your own family before breaking Ursula's neck to kill her. Moments later, Grace is taken to the basement, where several creepy cult members are waiting. The lawyer opens a hatch on the ground as he starts the ceremony, and a goat is brought to be sacrificed. Both Titus and Grace drop some blood into a little bowl, and the lawyer puts the mix in the quill to make them sign the book. After exchanging a few words, they're officially married and Titus kisses Grace. The lawyer announces that the high seat belongs to Titus, who takes the master ring. While everyone celebrates, Grace grabs the quill and stabs Titus in the neck, then she stabs him several times in the chest. She takes the master ring while pointing out that it isn't against the rules to kill your own family. Faith kicks Titus down the hatch and he's impaled on a horn. Afterward, Grace puts on the master ring and makes everyone get on their knees. She uses her new power to remove herself from the organization, so the lawyer explains that the next leader will be whoever is wearing the ring by the dawn, which will happen in 3 minutes. Grace throws the ring into the hole full of bodies, and Felipe doesn't hesitate to jump in. The rest of the cult and even a servant soon jump after him, leaving only the sisters and the lawyer behind. While everyone starts killing each other for the ring, Grace throws a knife into the hole to make it worse. When dawn finally arrives, every single person in the hole explodes, causing a huge splatter of blood. Suddenly someone celebrates. It's Madhu, who has been hiding on the stairs all along. He approaches the sisters only to explode too. After seeing a ghost above the altar, the sisters leave with the goat, ready to start a new life together. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.